Hi folks, I'd parked the Bronco project for a while because it didn't fly that great with the B2 Bomber differential motor set up. It only had one speed for left and right, which made it a bit difficult to control. I also had trouble transporting it to flying sites as the tail was too fragile and prone to break. I also wanted to improve upon the aerofoil section that I had on the original wing. So I decided to rebuild the wings with eliminated side booms and a removable tail. I also took the radio out of the TY8 Delta, which had better radio control for left and right. Check out this video to see how I improved this little Bronco. To bend the wing to a nice aerofoil shape, I bent the printing foam over a large drink bottle and attached it with rulers and rubber bands. Then, wearing rubber gloves, I applied stem. This gave a better aerofoil than the original wing, which kind of just bent in the middle. I needed to make the tail removable, so I made the side booms triple laminated with slots for the tail to fit into. I also added an extra horizontal stabilizer to give strength to the tail. This didn't really affect the CG too much. To attach the tail, I just needed to fit those into the slots like that, and then I made some clips out of piano wire to provide friction to hold the tail in place. And this was enough to hold the tail, and in a crash it would just slip out instead of break. The radio gear in the TY8 was a bit better than the B2 Bomber. This one actually has a two-stage left and right, whereas the B2 Bomber only had a single stage. However, with this controller I did have range issues in certain circumstances, so I took it apart and I noticed that the aerial inside, the transmitter aerial, was actually looped around, so I've actually since straightened that, so hopefully that's solved the issues with range. Again, it was easy to lift the radio gear out of the TY8 and slot it into the Bronco. I left the flashing LEDs behind for now. They're actually quite useful because normally they're blue, but when the battery gets low they flash, giving you a little bit of warning to land the plane. Rather than use the tiny motors that came with the TY8, I decided to use the new 20x7mm motors that I'd bought originally. So we're ready for a flight test. Let's see how that went.
Flying all right.
Beautiful, baby. Yeah, and it flies to the left. It's not supposed to have any. I was going to give it some. When I rebuilt the wing, I've got a bit of airfoil. It does nice landings anyway. See that one there? It's the one with optical fly. Took off really well. However, I noticed that I could only fly anti-clockwise, doing left-hand circles. So at half time, when Laurie reversed the direction of our flights, I couldn't do right turns. Turns out the transmitter from the TY8 has a fault, so it normally has two stages of left and right, and it turns out that the second stage of right turn was not working. When I got home, I squirted some WD-40 into the right hand stick on the controller, but that hasn't solved the problem so far. But to improve directional stability, I reinstalled the motors a little bit further out to give more control, and also on foam to see if I could reduce the noise that the printing foam wing seems to amplify. Finally, I zipped down to Bunnings and I bought some more $2 tubes of acrylic paint and finished the paint job, going with my army green and brown theme. And I also added the shark teeth that the Bronco sports. The final weight was 49 grams, which is 12 grams heavier than the original build, coming in at 37 grams. I headed off to Mullum to do some more flight testing after this, and although I could only do left-hand turns, it flew well. The new removable tail section worked well. Here it is taking off to the right of the screen. Gosh, that's busy traffic today. After flying, I did a takeoff, circled left, and then I went to do another left turn and it just flew straight into the wall. And turns out that the motor on the right hand side was completely seized up. So that was the end of flying for that day. So in conclusion, I was really pleased with the way the Bronco is flying. It looks great and it flies nice and slow. However, I can only do left-hand circuits with this radio gear. I've also got a seized up motor, so probably what I'll do for now is replace the motors with the ones that came with the TY8. Hopefully that'll have enough thrust to keep it in the air. Should do. I've ordered some more motors as well. For the radio gear, I'm not quite sure what I'll do about that yet. So what's coming up on Dave's Fun RC? Next week I'll give you an update on the Magnum Reloaded, where I rebuild the wing and the undercarriage supports to make it better and stronger than before. Down the track I flight test the P38 Lightning that one of the indoor aviation people gave me. And finally I've ordered a red dragon. It's not a pterodactyl, it's a dragon, so I'll be doing a flight test on that as well. Bye for now.